Hey, welcome, team. You know, things are happening all around the world. Things are happening here, all around the world. We got to be aware of what's happening. But I'm not going to be talking about a lot of the socio-political aspect. I'm going to be talking about the financial aspect because that's what we're engaged in. And what we're going to talk about today is, you know, why we're such a force of good, why we are reaching out, and why you need to learn how to reach out to more people every day for the next 5 years at least, uh, before uh, the reset, the official reset happens. Now, what you may or may not know, and hopefully you do over the last post that I've been posting uh, over the last 6 weeks, and uh, the one I posted last night about BlackRock. Now that's been around. I've just held off on that post. Uh, I wanted to get some of the other information out to you first uh, before that. And uh, what what is happening, and I've been trying to explain this, especially to our group in Baton Rouge, which we meet every week. So we get to have some discussions that the rest of my 30,000 plus organization doesn't get to hear. And if they're not part of a program or listening to these trainings and information that I provide, that they're lost just like the rest of the people in the world. Now, you're not lost because you have the information. Now, what you do with the information, that's totally up to you. Nobody's twisting anybody's arms to do anything. I'm not telling you to buy X amount of gold or X amount of silver. I'm not a financial advisor. In fact, that before I get started any further, let me just let me just share that, get that away because I need to today. I have to put the disclaimer up right at the beginning uh, that uh, I am not a financial advisor. If you want financial advice and you have a financial advisor, go to them. But what I am going to share today is an accumulation of knowledge that I have being in the gold and silver marketplace for 38 years, staying in touch with global macroeconomic and financial uh, matters throughout the world for over the last 20 plus years. And uh, I, I'm just going to share the highlights of the information and what it means to us as members of 7K and why everyone in the world needs to have a sound money account through 7K because getting it through our 7K membership instead of just getting a sound money membership is so much more advantageous, cost wise, even. Okay. So everyone needs a sound money wallet. Everyone needs to store gold and silver in the private vault, the Vault Max. Uh, and everyone needs to know how to operate their accounts, what it means to them, what, how, a private, why a private vault versus a depository, which depositories has been around for decades and decades. And that's where basically all the countries, banks, super wealthy people, they keep it in these big, huge depository. Now, we can't. Okay, but 7K made it available. And believe me, the rest of the big gold and silver brokers, uh, they're paying attention to that. They're not going to let the 7K be the only one in the marketplace with this, but it doesn't matter. We get the benefits. Okay, like I tell everybody else, when the difference between a networking company or a market referral company, like we're a direct marketing referral company, and you know, uh, a Costco a Costco today, well, we're very similar. we're membership companies, but Costco, you have to renew your membership every year. Okay. Well, here, 7K now allows people to have lifetime memberships. Hey, that's a cost savings. Well, we're basically the Costco gold and silver. And then we can provide you with a SoundMoney market account. So you don't have to jump in like all those old companies, spend 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, and get overpriced products that takes you so long to recover, or takes the price to rise so much more rapidly in a shorter period of time for you to even break even or get ahead. Okay. Now you are protecting wealth. Now that's a fact. And everybody needs gold and silver for wealth protection, just like the wealthy banks countries have used for decades and decades and decades. And so, with that said, I want to move right to what we need to be paying attention to today. Okay, and I'm going to refer you back to our band app. Okay, your whatever team that you're in, and I want you to go to the articles that I posted. Uh, starting with the 7K article, you know, uh, from Market Watch. Okay. A company that for decades told people never to buy gold and silver, but boom. And then, right after that, Josh and Zach made a great podcast. I put that in there too. And if you haven't listened to it, and if you haven't done these things, go back and do them again, because you deserve to know what you need to know. And your family deserves to know this too. Everyone you know needs to know these things. And so I put them there so you can share them. You can sit there and watch them with people. You can have a discussion. And then you can really just show them why they need a SoundMoney wallet account. And then you can help them set it up. I mean, we have two options. 149, that is that's so inexpensive. That doesn't obligate anyone to anything. And then their charge would be to get themselves up to $1,000 worth of free stored gold in their SoundMoney wallet account. Now they can do that a little bit at a time, but these articles would tell them why they need to do it, not you. I mean, even the Bank of America article that I shared with everybody. Bank of America is saying that gold is going to be over $4,000 an ounce this year. Well, here's what I want to do. I'm going to try and tie everything, all these articles together for you, and give you another tool, and a tool that, we've been talking about for more than 8.5 years. Okay. But I don't see everybody taking advantage of it and using it like they should. Now, when I teach in my success system, the 7 pieces of paper, and if you aren't teaching that, then you're not going to have a duplicatable big organization to give you a long-term residual income. Why? Because that's the glue. That isn't the how-tos. That's the glue that tells you what you need to be doing all the time. And I tell you that in that job description, you're going to be watching a video once a day for 2 years. How many of you have done that yet? Okay. So until you do that, you haven't graduated from Millionaires 101 Basics yet. Okay. So, buckle yourself down and just make a commitment to yourself. You're going to do it, because now is the time. If ever there's been a time, it's now. And you're going to see why in just a minute. With those articles that I've been posting, this last one with the BlackRock, that's all the information you really need with what I'm going to put tied all together with you here today. Okay. Now, I've been talking about bricks forever. Okay. and what they're doing to the dollar, and what if they keep going and they come out with the first currency based on gold that would completely wreck the dollar in international trade, because that is the standard for international trade, or has been until BRICS came along. And last year, more than 19% of all trade internationally was done without the US dollar. That's huge. That's huge. And that's what's causing all these other factors from happening. And we all know that the dollar in America is in debt, and the dollar is losing value every year. And it's not just inflation, it's because the government has to print up money to keep going from year to year. They have to print up more money. They print up more currency. It debases our currency. It dilutes what you've got in savings and in any paper instrument. And so we've got to have gold and silver to protect our wealth. Now, how much of it you want, what percentage of your net worth, that's up to you. I just know what I do. Okay. So how do you go about doing that? Well, you go about doing it by learning the things you need to learn and sharing that with other people. Okay. And that's the most important part, is to start learning how to share that information. And these pieces that I've given you, a piece I'm going to add to it today, is going to be all you need. If you have too much, it becomes too complicated for people. You just got to kind of keep it to some basic minimums. We'll have more information as time goes by. I mean, we're going to get updates all the time from here until we have an actual new dollar backed by gold currency. Now, I believe I will see that in my lifetime. Before, I didn't think I would, as many of you know, but now I do. Okay. And part and believe me, if we get into another global war engagement, what I'm saying here is even more important than ever. And I think if you read between the lines in that BlackRock video, you'll understand what I just said. Okay. So let's get to what you need, what we need. Okay. First, I'm going to share, where you find these things if you're not accustomed to it. Okay. I want to make sure you know that you go to your band app, you can get on the band app on your computer or your device. Okay. Now it looks different. The layout is a little different, but the key is the post. Now I'm on the original one we had, the Go for Gold team, but I've got 18 different teams. So it doesn't matter what team you're on. All my posts go on all the teams. Now, some of the other team leaders post in there specific to their team. Okay. But so you may end up with a few more posts in your team band app than the ones where I'm the only one posting in there. So if here's the BlackRock, you just go down the post. The latest post is on top, but all my posts are here. So you got years worth of new videos that you can watch and training on about this business right here, that in addition to what your training videos and your information videos inside your own website from the company are. So mine are in addition to. Okay. But you'll see that BlackRock video, and you scroll down a little bit further, and what you're going to find is something I'm going to share. I'm going to take a pause because every one of you need to become an expert in this, and you need to. So people I'm finding don't know how to use the app. Just don't click on this link and listen to the video. I put attachments here for you to download and put to your computer so you can use. And I don't have to email them to everyone. Okay. It's impossible for me to do. So that's why I did the band apps. Click on the post. It opens it up in another window and it gives you the full post. Okay. So I'll give you a little what it's all about. And then you like this one, I give you the PDF slides that I use for, and this I'm training you how to present, how to make a presentation to someone, how to present it. And if you only get my slides and you only share that with someone and you're not even playing that 4 minute and 40-second video, that's fine. Because all this is going to talk about is opening up a SoundMoney wallet account. And everyone needs one. You need to know how to do this very proficiently. You need to know how to be familiar with the slides, how to click through them. You don't even have to present them. Let them do the talking themselves. Okay. I even do a presentation for you later in an earlier post. I said, if you can't do it, then use my presentation. You just sit there and play it for other people. Okay. That'll be fine. I'm trying to find how I can X out of this sucker. I got my little picture over there. There you go. Okay. So let's just keep going down. Okay. And I want to point out these main articles that you really got to get to. And, that all these latest posts that I have for you, if you haven't, you need to watch these over and over and over again until, it becomes second nature to you. That's the way to do it. It's called program learning. Okay. And you'll see here, this was the Bank of America article presentation. Okay. You want to make sure you have that link available. You have these links, the BlackRock, the Bank of America presentation. Now, this is my presentation. If you can't do it, then use my presentation to play it with someone, or you sit down watching with them. Okay. Now, this is the Market Watch article. This is the podcast. So you don't see it here, but this is Josh and Zach's podcast. A very important podcast to listen to. Very important podcast to share with somebody. Let them listen to it that you're talking to. Okay. This is the Market Watch article itself. So that's the link to the Market Watch article. And, what they're saying is that gold is going to be $7,000 an ounce before the end of next year. And I happen to agree with it. Heck, it may even be more. Okay. And what we're going to talk about today may show that. What you heard when BlackRock is part of the reason for that. So I'm going to give you that other one right now that you need to add to it. It'll be posted here. But, and I've been remiss in doing this myself, going to it as much as we used to in the past, because we talked about the country's debt. But it's also the great resource for everything gold and silver too in one spot. And, what is that? That's the U.S. debt clock. Okay. Yep. U.S. debt clock. So let me stop share here. Maybe I won't. Maybe let's just go ahead since I got this share screen up. If you go to google.com And I did that 3 times this morning. And then the articles have changed. You know, under google.com, they're gonna show some of the main things, like silver rallies above 38, incredible breakout, 13-year high. Okay. And then you scroll down, current gold price as of July 25. And that article says basically it's gonna hold. And everything's all the data says that price is going to hold and it's probably going to increase. Okay. And so what you're seeing is a whole bunch of articles about gold and silver. Okay. And you also see this one right here: the declining status of the US dollar as global reserve currency. Central banks diversify into what? They diversify into other currencies and gold. That's those BRICS nations. Okay. Now we've been talking about this for, I don't know, ever since I introduced BRICS to the group, and we've been following it, been following when they meet, their what they say they're going to do in other countries, all that kind of stuff. Well, Trump just made this last week uh, a pronouncement to the world and specific to these BRICS countries. He's not going to let them have the first currency backed by gold. That basically was he did not use those words, but if you listen to what he said and what he's meaning that's exactly what he means. Because see, here's the news, everyone. We're already going through a reset. We've been going through it for almost a little bit more than a year. Ever since our prices have been increased, ever since those reserve banks that I've reported to you, even little Singapore buying tons of extra gold, a little bit of tiny Singapore, remember? All these countries buying gold and these reserve banks buying gold. But what you didn't know is the surprise that snuck up on me. The International Monetary Fund. So let's just jump to it. Let's go to that usdebtclock.org. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want every one of you to go to your app store, your Play Store, whatever it is, and I want you to download the new app on your phone so you'll have it. If you got an app, you're probably more likely to look at it every day. And some of the most important things you need to look at. Now, you can download the PDF of the debt. You can download a few things. But if you'll look on all these links, we went through many of these links with gold and silver ratios and gold prices, but they've added new links to their debt clock that are very, very important. Down here on the bottom, one link I want to show you that's very important. Right here at the bottom, this very, very bottom down here, where you see gold, precious metals details. Okay. Now, if you'll click on that link like I'm doing right now, it's going to bring up something that's very important, something that just jumped out at me that we all need to know. And it snuck up on me too. Now, I'm gonna enlarge the screen so you can see it better, read it better. But I've given over the years, at least once a year for the last 3 or 4 years, the top 10 countries who have gold, that known gold reserve. In other words, they have it in their, like the United States has 287 million troy ounces of gold. Now, a little more than half of that is in Fort Knox. So we have 8,133.5 metric tons of gold. Okay. So we're number one. Germany's been number two for a long time. Now, Look who's number 3, the International Monetary Fund. They've been buying gold like it's been going out of style. That's also been part of it. So has other banks. So has other. They're all. But there's your top 10. So it's good to know these things. It's good to be able to share these things. There it is. It's not our data. It's not your data. It's not my data. That's global data. Okay. Now, if you want to know the world production of gold, how much gold is being produced and how it changes, okay, in terms of actual production, that's, digging out the gold. There's only so much gold. Once it's all dug out, there won't be any more because man can't make it. God made it. Okay. So you can look at gold, silver, platinum, palladium, lithium, nickel, all the important metals for the global economies. Okay. Now, gold, why is it important? Because it's the base of all currency. It's the base of all transactions. And here's the key. 7K Metals, SoundMoney, made gold and silver transactional for the first time. They were the first company to make it, in which you can click on it and turn it to cash and send it to your bank. That's transactional. It's not a big process, a big, huge negotiation. It's not trying to find a buyer for your gold and silver, because that's been the problem of the past, especially if you needed to convert large sums at one time. Because believe me, that pawn shop can't handle you. That coin dealer, you don't have enough coin dealers in your town most of the time, and you're going to get gypped because they're looking to get it for a price extremely low that they can make money when they resell it. And so you're talking about a percentage reduction from spot. Okay. So anyway, that's the advantage of SoundMoney. So, this is one thing that I wanted to point out to you, one link that you need to go and keep up with. And I encourage you to just click around this thing. Find all the, you can click, notice how I can click on any of these things. Learn yourself something, I say, this is pretty good. But here's what I want to do. I want you to look at the world debt clocks, okay? Because this is very important. I know we talk about it in words, but when you see it in pictures and you actually see the number and you understand some of the things that I try to share here and there, and I may not be providing something in the backdrop like this, but you're going to see our debt, our $37 trillion in debt. You're going to also see our gross national product. Now, that's very important because the ratio of what you take in, what you're doing in business every year is very important. Now, you want to know a strong economic country is where you have only about 25, 30% of debt compared to your gross national product. Yeah. And I'm going to shock all of you because do you know who's one of the strongest countries in the world right now? Now, they went through their upheavals. They went through their currency debasement. I mean, Russia, do you know the Russia's currency at one time was virtually worthless, but it recovered. Now it's getting its own problems again, but oil and gas is what helped it out of it. But you look down here, scroll down through the countries, and see Russia's way down here because look, it's at gross national product to its debt, and its public debt is only 21.24% of gross national product. Now, I bet none of you thought, they're not going to tell you these things there. That just makes Russia look too good. Well, hey, they do. They are stronger financially than we are. And then when you look at how much gold they have, see, fortunately, we got the gold. There's the big difference. Okay. Now, so you can take these countries and, just these numbers alone tell you a lot. and you get a relative comparison of the strength of the company, and then go back and look at how much gold they have. Now, those are countries that are really trying to get more gold too. Okay. So then you can look at the countries that are really got a problem. France, Italy, Canada, countries that Japan, 292% more debt than GDP. Okay. Now, we know that Japan works off of debt. They always have since their big uh, currency debasing back in the 80s. Okay, late 80s. Okay. So, uh, and they've been recovering from that ever since. Anyway, good information, something to have. Make sure you have. You get to it online. You go to usdebtclock.org. Okay. And so you can see you can download the app and put it on your phone. I encourage you to do that. Okay. So that's one of the main things I wanted to give you as another source of information and how to use this information. Uh, and then let's go back and talk a little bit about, you know, why, in my bullet points that I give you in the presentation. I'm going to go try and find my presentation. Okay, I think it's right here. I get back to the beginning of it, everyone. Okay. Somewhere around here. No one referral. I must have X'd out my presentation to you. I didn't want that one. I did. It's unfortunate when I X these things out, I have to go back and pull them back up and pull them back in. So what I'll do is I'll use my old one. Okay. These are in the presentation I give you to download. Okay. And this has been the problem. And I've had this problem in my year. Everybody you do need to have some gold and silver in your own physical possession, but you don't want to have all of it. Okay. You want to have it stored securely. Yeah. You want to have it insured. Lloyd's of London insuring. How much better can you get? But this is the problem. When you're holding gold and silver physically, you need to sell it. Well, you got to find somebody to buy. Believe me, I've bought gold and silver from people, but I will not buy gold and silver unless I know it's 100% 999 gold, okay, or silver. And I don't have the instruments to do it. So, I know how to test American Eagle gold and silver coins without an instrument. But when it comes to bars, uh, I physically want to know it. The old process, they drill it in different spots, collect the drillings, make sure it's 100%. That used to be but now you got the infrared photometer, the machines. Most of the big 7K has them, all the bullion company has them, many of the dealers have them. If they're buying gold and silver back from you, then they're going to have it. They're going to want to know it's 100% gold. They're not, or silver. They're not going to just buy it from you. Okay. And if you're dealing with the three largest where you're doing it by mail according to their buyback process, then and that's a long process, 3 to 6 weeks. Okay. And your problem is finding somebody. If you need large amounts, then That's going to be your problem, because typically a pawn shop or a couple of coin dealers aren't going to be able to do that, or it's going to take longer. They want to pre-sell it before they buy it from you. So you're going to get maybe at best 85% of spot. Well, you know you're paying above spot to buy it. Now, if price goes up, you can cover that, but why give up that 15% profit? Because see, that's the key with SoundMoney. They pay you spot or above. Nobody else does that. No negotiation, no hassle. Okay. If you're gonna sell it to where you can get it for a better price, pretty close to spot or right below spot or right around spot. The big dealers, JM Bullion, SD Bullion, APMEX. Well, you've got to pay for the shipping and the insurance sending it to them. Okay. They don't guarantee until they test it, certify it's real, and then they want to give you a price. But you got to send a deposit along with it. Okay. That's a deal deposit. And if you don't accept their offer, maybe that day that they gave you the offer, silver or gold dropped, and it's below really what you want to sell it for. Well, you either accept the offer or they keep your deposit, and then you got to pay to have your gold and silver shipped back to you. That's a price. It's written in black and white on all their websites. Just go look at it. Okay. You don't have to take my word for it. Okay. Now, that's why everyone needs a SoundMoney account. Well, they can buy it affordable price. They don't have to do like all these advertisers on TV, and they're not paying overpriced. And they get with their membership, they get lifetime membership, the $5.99 legacy. They get up to $50,000. No fee, no storage fees, no insurance costs. So their job would be to get comfortable, buy a little at a time, learn about gold and silver, do it, and build up to that $50,000. Some people want to get there real fast, okay, because they want to take advantage of the information that I shared in the beginning. And so it's important to share this information with them also. That's part of that follow-up, okay? So they get, and pretty soon, I don't recommend putting it on autosave, buying with your credit card. I just don't recommend buying gold and silver credit card, even though some people do it. But that's fine. You just know you're paying your credit card fees when you do it. Okay. But when they get the ACH set up, I'll recommend setting up on autosave. You bet. Okay. Because I believe you should be buying some gold every week, whatever you can afford. $10 worth, $20, 100, 50, whatever you can afford. Make a habit of doing that. That's what you need to do. Your dollar cost averaging. You're not trying to buy it at the lowest, buy it at the highest. And why gold? Okay, here's my goal. Look, they have one price for storage fees and insurance. It's 0.5%. Now, obviously, a gold bar, 1 ounce gold bar, and a 1 ounce silver bar take up the same space. But look at the difference in value. That 1 ounce gold bar is $3,300. That 1 ounce silver bar may be $40. Okay. But if price went up, believe me, it's probably around $40 now. Okay, yeah, that's above spot. That's a higher premium. Maybe you can buy that gold bar or that silver eagle less somewhere else, but you have to hold it. You got to be part of now you're holding it. You're not having it secured, stored, and insured. Okay. Now you're going to have to pay insurance for it, or you're risking getting it stolen, getting it lost, and then it's uninsured. And this is what I challenge people to do. Call up your home insurance, call Personal Articles Florida. Tell them you want to insure $20,000 worth of gold bullion or silver bullion. Either one, it doesn't matter. Do silver bullion. Okay. They go by dollar value. Okay. They don't go by ounces. And then get the cost of you insuring it to keep it at your house. Okay. Go ahead, do that. Well, here in SoundMoney, the reason that your bullion price for silver is more is because the storage costs are so much higher. Let's take 100-ounce silver bar and 100-ounce gold bar. Look at the value difference between them. And they go by value to charge you your storage. So that's why the bullion prices for silver are high, a little higher, but it's a mixture of the storage fees with the free fees and extra fees that are there, because they're not in business to lose money holding your silver for you and insuring it for you. Okay. So it's a choice. So I'm just telling you, that is the reason that silver bullion price is higher than what the educated, the ones that have learned about where you can buy silver bullion. And I tell you that all the time. I tell you, I'm going to buy silver bullion where I can get it the cheapest. Well, I know I can get silver bullion from time to time over the 8.5 years. When it was less at JM Bullion, I bought it at JM Bullion. When it was less at 7K, I bought it at 7K because I was having it shipped to me. I didn't have that storage option. But now I have silver stored in SoundMoney wallet, and I pay that extra premium for it. Why? It's because I'm paying for it being safely secured, readily available there, and I understand the price difference that I'm paying. See, it's a big difference. Education, understanding, making informed decisions, and that's what we're about. That's what we want other people to know. That's why we're a group of people helping people. You know, the company can help explain some things, but we're the ones that are really here explaining to our group, our team, when they have questions. Maybe, and you know, they can make their own decisions. But I can tell you one thing: it's much better to have it stored and insured and readily available, and and than to keep everything yourself. That's a big risk. You know, your home can catch on fire. Well, again, like I said, your dollars end up in the ashes. You lost those, but your gold and silver end up into a melted pot of pure gold and silver. But you're going to have to recover it. But it's still worth something. But it's worth less than it was in that stamped, certified, pure 999 bar. Okay, and or that coin, that eagle coin, or that bullion coin, or but that's a decision you make. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a SoundMoney wallet account. And you should be diversified. You should have some in one place and one in another place. Don't keep it all in one spot. Okay. So let's go back. It's safe, it's secure, it's fully insured. Those bars have to be there. So another part of question that I get all the time, and they don't really understand that what incremental buying is. It means if they got a 1-ounce gold bar, you may own $100 worth of it. That's so many XXX ounces of that gold bar. Another person may own $1,000 worth of it. Another person may own $600 worth of it. Until that 1-ounce bar, is fully 1 ounce with multiple owners in that 1-ounce bar. But that 1-ounce bar has got to be in that vault. So if multiple owners don't own that full 1 ounce. They have to have 1 ounce in that vault. So who owns the rest? Well, SoundMoney does. So they have to put up the money to have the extra there, okay, until somebody buys it, okay? That's what it's at. So it's like a bank account. You go stick in $100, another person sticks in 1,000, another person sticks in 600. But that bank should have all that added together in their vault, but they don't. They only have 10% of that. That's why they're worried about a bank run. Because if you came in and you wanted all $100,000 of you, you can't do it. Actually, if you want more than 10,000 or more from a bank, you got to give them notice. Do you know that? Try it from your bank account. Just go walk in. If you got more than 10,000, say I want to draw $10,000 cash right now. So, whoa, you got to give us notice. Now, some of the bigger banks, some of the bigger, well, you might be able to do that, but many cannot. They want to notice. We have accounts at banks. They want to notice, and some of them ask for 3 days notice because they got to get the money in because they can't go below their 10% balance. If they go below the 10% balance, they got to shut down. They got to close the doors until they get that 10% balance remade. Well, in SoundMoney, that's the difference with a private vault, is they are nothing more than vaulters, a counter, keeping account of what's in deposits there. And we all have our individual accounts. And then, they are audited by an independent third party. They aren't audited by themselves. This is part of private vault. They're audited by a third party once a week. And all of our accounts added up, those ounces have to physically be in that vault. If it's not, they have to stop operations until those ounces are put in the vault before they can resume operations. That's just the way it works. Okay, it's a military class 3 graded private vault. Now they got a little short, less than 2-minute video right there in your share links in the present side. That is a great little video to share with people who want to know about it. But let me tell you, they got to drill through 4 concrete reinforced walls, and it's all inside of another big, huge building. They have multiple private vaults inside that SoundMoney building, which is guarded all the way around. And they're only less than, I think, 3.5, 4 minutes from their local SWAT team that's on call 24/7 that can respond. But it take an M80 tank to go in there. But they're going to have an army coming down on them. So it's as safe as it's like miniature Fort Knox's is what it is. Now I've been there, I've seen them, so I can tell you for a fact what it is. And I encourage people to go, see it. But here's the other key: no reporting to the government of what you own. Now that's significant, y'all. And so when you sell it, no reporting when you sell it. That's significant, y'all. Private vaulting regulations. And you get to see your holdings just like you do your bank. Instead of you looking at dollars, you're looking at ounces and dollar value of gold and silver. You get to see it 24/7. And with a click of a button, you can instantly convert it to cash at some of the best, if not the best buyback prices ever for gold and silver bullion. No hassle, no negotiation, no stress. Bingo, ACH it back to your bank. Now people say, well, what if you have an EMP? Well, they got it backed up. They got it backed up on paper. You can go there. You can have it withdrawn. You can physically withdraw it. Now, if you want it shipped to you in 1 ounce quantities for the gold and silver coins and the gold bars, when you get one, you own 1 ounce, you can ship it to you and you pay the shipping and insurance. Hey, that's no problem. So you can convert it or have it shipped to you. Your choice. The buyback price is always there. 24/7. It changes with time, just like gold and silver goes up and down. But that's why everybody needs a SoundMoney wallet account. And then I always just end with just showing here's the difference. And for very and this to me is for the young people, the 149, just starting out in life. And their job would be is to get up to 1,000. But we do even better. When they get a membership in 7K, they get their SoundMoney account. They get tons of other benefits, but I don't even go into those. So you'll learn about those. You can take advantage of them if you want. You don't have to. But the legacy is what most people need. And they need to start building up to their $50,000 in gold as rapidly as they possibly can within the financial means that they can. But they'll have to buckle down and do it. But they're going to get started out the 149 with $20 of gold in their account. So they have something to start with. So now it's just get it set up and get it set up properly. And I've got a video that shows you through every step how to set it up properly and to make sure you get everything in your account settings done and there for identification purposes. In the $5.99, you get $40 worth of gold. And then you start building. You start saving $20 a week or $100 a week or $200, whatever you can put in your budget. But what I prefaced this whole discussion on in the beginning is why everyone needs gold and silver. Look, if the big financial institutions like BlackRock and Vanguard are buying gold and storing it, that's a clue, everybody. We're in the middle of reset. It's going to happen gradually. We're like frogs in a pot, especially all those that see, you and I, we know, we have knowledge. Look at all the people you know that have zero knowledge about gold and silver or about currency or the value of their currency. They have zero knowledge. They're the big losers. Those of us with gold and silver will rule. It's been a rule for a long time. We will come out better, those of us with gold, than those without it. That's just a fact. It has been a fact of history. Gold is always the basis of all currency transactions. Always has been, always will be, or at least in our lifetimes. Look, I'm going to have to end this with that same disclaimer, okay? Because I want this recording to stay up for a long time for people, okay? I'm going to go and try and find my disclaimer where I find it again somewhere. Guess I was in the right spot and just didn't know it. Let me go get it again. There's all those other benefits and stuff. There we go. I'm not a financial advisor once again, but I'm just passing on the information and knowledge that I have so you can have the information and then you can decide who you need to ask or what decisions you need to make for consult a financial advisor. But most of them are going to tell you what? Oh, don't buy gold and silver. Buy this annuity. Buy this REIT. Buy this mutual fund. Why? Because they're going to make money off of you and buying those instruments. Convert your IRA to this annuity. Yeah, they make a ton of money off of you when you do that. And then you're locked in and you can't move your money. Lots of penalties, lots of constraints. And when you go to drag it out, lots of tax consequences in addition to the penalties. It's called caviar emptor. Let the buyer beware. Make sure you read those instruments before you ever sign your name committing your money for 10 years or 15 or even 5. Because the dynamics of what are happening in our world today, I wouldn't want my money committed for that long, not large portions of it. You could do small pieces of it, sure. That's called diversification. But not large chunks of your funds. No, I wouldn't. I mean, that's what I would do. You have to make your own mind up. Hey, thank you. Hopefully you have some good Q&A today, because I really, in the beginning, I really put some stuff on you here, and but those of you that listened to those articles, read those articles, you'll understand what I'm talking about. May have a good conversation. Hey, appreciate all of you. See you here next week, same place, same time, and I'll get this posted up today as soon as I can.